morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am the badass Buddha, Lori Monaco, welcoming you from again. It always seems like it's every Tuesday, Thursday, practically. It's cruddy and cloudy, but it isn't that cold. Finally in the 50s, so Southern Connecticut. Welcome, welcome. I am I'm the CEO of Align Yourself Inc. I am a teacher, speaker, coach. I am a mindfulness teacher and a coach specializing in narcissistic and toxic relationships, narcissistic abuse. What else? Depression, anxiety, PTSD, CPTSD. And I also facilitate multiple workshops. I'm an author and a chiropractor. And welcome to Viva.
And the goes on. Yay, good morning, everybody. Buena gente, buenos dias, namaste, aquí con la Margarita. I am, let's change it up a bit. You're right. I'm CEO of Cricket's Whispers. Cricket's Whispers is apparel, accessories, publishing, and coffee. This is one of my apparel. I'm CEO of Naturally Orgasmic Cafe Company. Here we go. For those who placed their orders, thank you. I won't be taking any more orders till June as I'm leaving the country. You can't even see it that good. I am your sacred healer, your end-of-life doula, your spiritual coach. I am your traveling magician. I am your painter, artist, hecho a mano, your writer, your speaker. I'm a lover of travel, a lover of words, and Mother Moon's favorite child. Welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche.
Yay. How's the weather where you are?
It's very sunny out. It was yesterday very disrespectful. It was like 90 something.
Oh my God, already?
Yeah. Today is a high of 88. And right now it is 73. So yeah, it's sunny sunshine, Florida, huh?
Was it humid too yesterday?
Yeah, they're identical twins. Humidity.
It's never hot and not humid in Florida, like ever.
No.
Not even in the winter. I mean, I lived there.
No, it's cold and humid, so you don't feel cold on your skin like you would up north, where you just layer on some scarves and a nice, pea coat and a scully and you're good. No, here you put all that and you're still freezing in your bones. It's like the cold humidity settles in your bones. So no, but you know what? You either got to take it or leave it. And obviously I've been taking it since I'm going to be here 16 years now.
And you like the cold. You just don't like that bitter, right? That one that grabbed you.
I think I just been away from it for too long, but I survived it for 40 years. So, yeah, I think the heat, it's more, it's welcoming, but when you do your hair and you put your makeup and you got to go somewhere, the minute you step outside your front door, you're frizzled up like Bette Midler in Hocus Pocus, and your face starts melting off. Yeah. But you know what? We're humans. We're going to complain whether it's too cold, whether, every time I hear myself and others complaining, I think of the 3 bears. Papa Bears was, too cold, hot. Mama Bears was too cold, and Baby Bear was just perfect. And where do we ever find Baby Bear at? That's what we're always seeking, right?
Yeah, you're right. We're never satisfied. I know for me, humidity does get to me. Like it really gets to me. And I'm definitely a dry heat person. Like I really loved the arid stuff out in the desert when I was out there. We kept clocking it. I kept taking pictures of the temperature on the car or on the phone. And when we were out in Utah, in Moab, it was like 108. It was like 106. And we were outside and in the pool. I was actually cold, and it wasn't even a cold pool. It was, a fairly warm pool, but this breeze would come by and it was like a hot breeze, but there was something different about it. And it was, the only thing is I just couldn't do is the fact that it's so dry. Like like there's no water there. There's not a lot of water there. So that would drive me nuts because I love water. I do love rain. You know, I don't like it raining every day. I definitely couldn't do, and I think it's the sun. Like I love rainy days. I do love those breaks, but I couldn't do like Seattle with the gray like all the time. I couldn't do it. I have to have sunlight at some point.
Yeah, let me tell you the secret of life. And hello to everybody. I see my beautiful sister, Milagros, Arlene, Chanel. We're such picky little fuckers, right? Because when we're forced to be somewhere and do something, it's like we were born to do it. But yet we'll sit here and say, I don't like that. And that's why I was talking about the winters. Like I hate it. You know, the couple winters I spent in Connecticut and I hated it. I wouldn't leave the house. But that was my own barriers I was putting up. Because I bet that if I were to move back, I still hustled when I was living out there taking care of mom. But lately I wouldn't. And I think when I was in Phoenix for a bit, years, long time ago, it was 107. And when I first got out of the car, when I arrived in Phoenix and I breathed it in, I thought my chest was gonna pop, like it hurt, because we're from New England. So here you are breathing in this 107 dry heat. But as the days went on and I was there longer, you adjust. And I think as humans, we complain about everything, but yet we adjust to almost anything at the same time. We just got to give ourselves a chance, you know?
Oh, and yeah. Our adaptability is incredible. I think we underestimate our adaptability, truly, with anything. It's not even just weather, but we underestimate. I think there's more, isn't there more humid places though than where you are? Like, isn't New Orleans, like Louisiana, those are worse, right?
Georgia is humid.
Georgia, I lived in Georgia for a little while, and I lived in South Carolina for a while. And they're humid, but and I lived in Florida for a year. Florida definitely was the most humid, but I think that from what I've heard, that New Orleans, like the coast, not New Orleans, but Louisiana, Mississippi, the coast, is brutal, like more humid than
it's like on the cup of Florida. It's like where it turns over there to go on 10. It's like very narrow. So yes, yep. Life is beautiful. Let's just learn how to enjoy it. Get rid of what we don't need, adjust to what we have, and make it better.
Cheers. Cheers.
What's in your taza?
I ran out of your coffee. So soon, once you get back, I'll get your coffee. But I bought Happy Camper. I've had them before. They're good. It's nice tasting coffee. I was at TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx always, we got to get your brand at TJ Maxx somehow, because TJ Maxx always has those like extra bags of coffee, like the stuff that you don't tend to hear of, but we definitely need to do that. And I can't wait for you to get back, because man, the orders, we're going to start collecting orders like crazy.
I know. So for those that placed orders, they should be shipped out. I leave back home to Connecticut Thursday evening, so by tomorrow, but I won't be taking in any more orders until June from Bridgeport, because I'll be having a soft launch there. So
yes,
exciting, and I thank you, and it's exciting. I got some online orders in California,
Rick over here,
and many here in Florida. So yes, I'm excited.
All right. So we've got special guests today. Our conversation is we're going to be talking about a very special event on the 30th. Right? It's the
30th, yes.
The 30th, yeah. I don't know what day it is anymore. I can't believe it's the end of April. Like, this is just ridiculous. I don't even know where the month went. And right, didn't it seem forever that you were going away? Like, it seemed like it's like months ahead for you going away, and now it's literally like a week away. Just about a week away.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I'm super excited. I can't wait to climb mountains. Yeah, really. Hey, Arlene, I can't wait to see you either. But yeah, so it's the 30th is this marvelous event.
And so we're going to have two fabulous guests, one of which Carmen Nieves, who is the founder of Viva Cafe con Leche. She's going to be on as a guest. And Coach Jennifer Frederick is going to be on. And we're going to talk about the event. And we're hoping that you all attend on Saturday. Glad you grew. You'll be here, right? You're attending that event.
I'm attending, yes.
And then the conversation today is we're talking about centered self-centered versus centered self, which this is actually a really good conversation to bring in with the event that's coming on, because when we're giving back to the community, we're giving the best parts of ourselves. And so that really emphasizes what we call centered self. So we'll talk about that shortly. Maritza's on. Good morning. We have a Maritza Bond on this morning. Maritza Figueroa. It was her birthday. Was it yesterday, Maritza? Happy belated birthday.
Go walk those 5 miles, girl. Walk it. We got you hitting Dubai. Good morning. Great rising, Bridget.
Yes, Bridget. Great rising. All right. So do we want to set our
mantra,
set our intention, do our mantra, and we'll get going here. So, all right. Our intention for today, as usual, our intention on Viva Cafe con Leche is for you to be intentional, for all of us to be intentional with our day and
grateful. Fill those empty pockets with gratitude.
Right. It could shift you and you're in a really cruddy mood, or if you're feeling stuck, gratitude could shift you, whether you're thinking it or writing it, especially writing it. It's very powerful. All right. And our mantra for today, as usual, get ready, say it loud, say it proud, scream it out if you are in a location that you can do so. Here we go. I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am magically orgasmic.
Ole.
And I am beyond authentic.
And I keep it as real as I am.
There we go. There we go. And remember, this is really important. You know, people poo-poo. People sometimes don't give mantras or affirmations much, it's just this, or, it's different when you put the energy behind it, when you put the importance behind it. Like if you adopt that mantra, and even when we're not on the show, when every day you start off your day, you take a big breath in, and then you say that mantra with your eyes closed, even if you're saying it quietly, but if you could say it loud and you could lift your arms up or whatever it is, it shifts you. It empowers you. Just the fact that, Gladia Guru and I, when we have our conversations, we talk about the idea of being a disruptor. We remind ourselves to be disruptors, and it's a disruptor in our own life. It's not, you're going to go and disrupt somebody else's life. Sometimes that happens as a side effect of you disrupting your own life, but that's not your fault. You're not purposefully disrupting somebody else's life. Their life was dependent on you, and they have to disrupt their own as a result. But it's about us. It's about disrupting what's going on in our head at any moment or time, and shifting us to make sure that we are in check, that we are where we need to be and going in the direction that we're going in.
Yeah, disruptor. I'm both. As a coach, as a spiritual coach, if you keep singing the same song out of tune, I'm gonna disrupt the shit out of you, because sometimes it takes someone to disrupt your thought process to get you back on track. It's like that train that veered off a little. I try to disrupt my life all the time, and I ace it all the time. But if you truly want to get assistance from me as a life coach, or even as a friend, but you're going this way and expecting me to follow, I'm going to disrupt your route, because that's what we need to do with one another. And there's a quote, and I don't know it verbatim, but it says, I don't know, something about quiet women never make history or something. I'm ruining the quote, but
well-behaved, quiet. I think it's well-behaved women.
And I just think sometimes we need a real friend is going to disrupt you from your own chaos. which I love chaos, the magic of chaos. People see chaos as being such a negative, but chaos really is also the disruptor in our lives. That's like, what's wrong? You're off path. Get back on the line. That sort of thing. And so yes, learn about being a disruptor. Don't follow the masses. Don't do it because everybody else is doing it. And what we're going to talk about is phenomenal, because all it reminds me of is Coca-Cola, and how in the first year Coca-Cola only sold 25 bottles. Like anybody, they would have given up. Especially that was back in the day when 5 cents, you could have probably bought the whole groceries with that. And today we give up too easy, and look at where Coca-Cola is at now. So I love when either we do it like untapped potential. I love that name. Like I've been looking at it since I printed this up, and that's such a powerful name, untapped potential. I'm a chef.
Because we do. We're born with unlimited potential. We're born with it. And it's our upbringing, it's our thoughts and our beliefs that get in the way of that. And then it's hard to retrain that when you get older, to have to like reverse whatever damage was done when you were a kid, and then the stories that you told yourself. And yeah, absolutely. And I've seen it so many times, and especially women, where they've transformed from that limiting belief. And that was, I believe Tony Robbins' first book was called Unlimited Potential. I think that's what was his first book. And it really got that ball rolling, because we do. And we sit, and like you said, as a coach, you disrupt people. It's true. We get into those headspaces where we're just playing that same old crappy tape player, and we're thinking that way. And it is up to the coach to be able to disrupt it and say, nope, you stop. Enough with that thinking, enough with that thought pattern. And then once you disrupt it, it's like all of a sudden, it's one of those scenes in a movie. It's like for the first time. So my daughter is going to be 9. She's never seen The Wizard of Oz. We watched it the other day, and this is a kid who will sometimes watch a program, and then she'll be looking at her iPad and watch a program and looking at it. Right. She put her iPad down and she was glued to the TV. And of course I was in my glory, because, we grew up with that. It used to be like, we used to look forward to it. They would show it like once a year. And
Thanksgiving.
Yep. Thanksgiving. Yep. Exactly. And so for me, I hadn't seen it in years. And that's that moment when she opens the door in Oz and it goes from black and white to color. Of course, now I'm older and I'm going, damn, that was like really impressive for back then. Like the stuff that the cinematography, but it's the meaning, she goes from black and white to color. And that's what it's like when you step out of your limiting beliefs, and then you see the color. So it's really fabulous.
It is.
All right.
So
Melissa.
And become co-partners. Yeah, you do. When I seek my clients, Maritza, we have to learn each other. And there's some people that will be absolutely blah, blah, blah. And then there's me and my type of coaching. And I think the right connection is where you get the work done. And that's where you birth new insights into how you want to live your life and all that. And that's why I love the fact that there's so many different coaches assisting so many different people. As a coach, I got to protect my spirit and my energy. As that's why we have to really see who's for who and how do we do that, and then recommend them to other people depending on what their needs are. So I love that.
Okay. I mentioned the coaches need a coach.
Yeah, just like psychiatrists. So yes, good luck, Nancy Green. Okay, let's bring these wonderful women up.
All right, we're going to bring both up. We're going to introduce one, and then we're going to let the other one introduce herself, because she's so fabulously good at that. So good morning, Carmen, and good morning, Jennifer. Oh my God, Jennifer, I love it. A marketer of people. That's so phenomenal. So welcome, Jennifer Frederick. And of course, Carmen Nieves. There she is. All right. So do you want to read, or do you want me to do the bio? What do you want me to do?
Go ahead. I've highlighted so many things on my personal part of it.
Okay, and we're going to post how to get in touch with Carmen
Yes.
and Jennifer in the clickable link in a moment in the comments. But Jennifer Frederick is a transitional and career professional. She's a marketing professional who shifted focus from products and services to marketing people. She enjoys uncovering the unique essence of your professional self and crafting a resume you feel completely confident about. In working for Untapped Potential, which won the Connecticut Entrepreneurs Award 2019 Social Good category. She takes these skills to her community members, and she feels it's rewarding to connect client companies to hidden talent. Yes, it is, because there's like a they don't always connect together. And knowing that the hard work that you do helps impact gender equality and diversity in the workplace is a great word. The work that she does is a great reward. She's done this for quite some time, and after successfully promoting other companies' products, services, and causes, she realized her untapped potential. She realized that her favorite moments involved advising the people she worked with. When she helped them get new jobs after being laid off, she coached them through a tough interview, complicated office politics, or was asked for recommendation. Known for being a clear communicator, she was the go-to on everything from phrasing on self-evaluations to work and to the work she does today, resumes and coaching. So welcome, Jennifer. We are very, very happy that you're here. I'd like this last piece. She says, I combine my knowledge of search marketing and extensive research of LinkedIn to demystify and guide you through the modernization of your online presence. Let me tell you something before we get to Carmen. That is really important with LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn a lot. I do a lot of stuff on LinkedIn. And when you're looking for jobs on LinkedIn, just like anywhere, there's a lot of scammers. There's a lot of places that you can't connect to. And you have to work with somebody who knows how to navigate this and prep you the best to help you not only find the best match for you, but also to prevent you from finding these scammers. Isn't that ridiculous? Like, who would have thought that there would be people proposing as, jobs to hire people and they're scammers. But anyway, thank you, Jennifer, for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So excited to be here.
Your glasses are so pretty.
Hey, those are compliments of Carmen.
Yes.
Why am I not
Carmen's the best connector, the best recommend, best whatever. And she said, I've got a glasses place for you. Sent me a link in 2 seconds, and I have had most compliments on these glasses of any glasses I've ever had before. And when I put them on, I feel power. I feel Carmen's energy, and it gets me going. So
fantastic.
Carmen's energy. Who doesn't? Listen, I've known Carmen 23 years now. And we've done a lot together. Carmen, when I came out in Latina magazine in 2000, she rode with me to Brooklyn. And then she rode with me to Manhattan to the New York Poets Cafe. And we went to a lot of Puerto Rican diaspora histories in the Bronx. And we just did a lot of things with our kids, riding the train with each other, building community, part of being part of the Bridgeport community. We were always there. We were always showing up to lend a helping hand. And then I left, and Carmen had the torch, and she has done marvelous for the city of Bridgeport, for the people of Bridgeport. I'm honored that we still have that deep connection. Carmen is someone that when she is up there in the podium introducing you to whatever event you're doing, you're sitting there saying, oh my God, I want to meet this person. She's introduced me because she's phenomenal. And then you're like, oh, it's me. Oh my God.
You're looking around. You're going, where are they? This is great.
And Carmen is a great MC. Carmen is such a dependable person. I think Carmen should have been mayor of the city of Bridgeport.
Yes.
I think her good deeds, her savviness, her connections, and her profound sense of well-being for our city would have been just the way it is now. But there's not enough words that I can say about Carmen. Only that when she says she's going to do it, trust her, because it's going to get done. She'll be frazzled in between, but it's gonna get done, and it's gonna get done right. And you're gonna
Don't be telling everybody all my secrets.
and you're gonna admire the spirit that charged that body forward to get the job done, Carmen. I am honored to you.
You know what, Jen? You and I have to say nothing because okay, we're done. Well, everything that
Thank you.
we've done, you've already said. I wanted to. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna toss it over to Jennifer. But one of the things you said in your opening kind of resonated with me because the work that Jen is a transitional professional, and what that is when we're in our mind trying to figure out what's our next step, we don't know what that is. And I can't figure out the chat once I'm behind the scenes back here to send some messages, but we have some of our GGs in the house, which is like our girls in gratitude. We have Maritza Bond, who, if you didn't know, is running for Secretary of State, and she's Latina. She's like this big, and she's a giant. So I want to give her a shout out. There's some business owners that I've been working with that are in watching as well. Jimmy's on, Jennifer, somebody that we've been working with and we love very much. So it talks about going in your direction. And sometimes we have a vision as to what that is, but we don't know what that is. And so for the last year, I was sharing this with Jen, and you guys know too, that I don't know if we call that a calling, a mission. Hi, Myra, she's on here too. Whether it's a mission, a calling, but something within us is either unbalanced, unmet, or something. So how do we give voice to that? And I've never ever ever met Jen in person. And I love her to pieces. She probably knows, Margie, and I said this to you before, that she's how I represent you, she represents me. She knows me, she
Wow.
understands me, she brings out the things
Beautiful.
in me that I didn't know that I had. So in our work together, I'm going to toss it over to her to talk a little bit about some of the things that we've done. But this is really about how do you give yourself permission. I don't know if my friend Crystal is in here. I see Veronica Austin, some of my awesome, awesome ladies that I've been working with, I see in the house. Just trying to, how do we put what we think into action? And we were actually talking about this yesterday. It's like, be careful what you wish for because it manifests itself exactly the way you said it. So you have to be kind of real specific. And she's with Untapped Potential, and she's going to tell you a little bit about that. But I was trying to find a place to belong because what I do is really important work in the community, helping people find jobs, helping people find resources, helping people to connect, helping small businesses. And we're like, how do we do that when sometimes you have things that are unmet or unfilled? And I'm like, listen, I have a good job. I work for an amazing organization. I have really good friends. I own my own home. I've been married for 34 years, and people are like, Carmen, I never see your husband. I'm like, yes, he's like an M&M. He does exist. Okay, he does exist,
Oh my
and
God,
he's
that's
such a
funny.
champion. So how do we do all of those things and be so great out in the world, all the energy that we put out, but inside, you're like, I'm not 100. How can I give you 100 if I'm not 100? So, Jen, I would love for you to talk a little bit about Untapped Potential. Feel free to share any story of my ups and downs and how we've gotten to where we are, because I officially licensed my consulting business 2 weeks ago. And
Yes.
it's been a
Yay,
year in the making.
congratulations.
It's
Nice.
been a year in the making, so, and it wouldn't have happened because I didn't feel like I had enough to give or to do if it wasn't for Jen. So Jen, I toss it over to you.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Carmen. That was so beautiful. But honestly, I mean, Carmen can manifest anything. I think,
Mhm.
she puts her energy into it. I think what was really important with us, each other, and knowing each other is that putting up that mirror, when she says, I'm not doing this, she says she just formed a consulting company. What has she been doing for the workplace for 20 years, right? She's been consulting people, helping people, moving them forward. And she just needs that mirror to do it for herself, right? She's already doing it. And so I think, we got together, we figured out, she told me what she wanted to do. I have this crazy idea. I want to help publicize the untold stories of the work, that the kinds of the people who, the things that I do, and the unrepresented voices. I want to do that. I want to broadcast it. And, how did you introduce her as an MC? How does she do that? She does that already in person and with people and with events. She already does it. We just have to put a name on it so people know how to find her for that reason. People get that from her already. So I think a lot of times we recognize our power after the fact. We kind of trace it after the fact. I figured out after the fact that it wasn't that I loved marketing. I fell into marketing and I was good at marketing. It's interesting, but I wasn't curing cancer. I didn't have some sort of passion for it. But what I did have passion for were the people that I worked with every day. I loved watching kids right out of college, find something they could do and mentor them into this job that could be a career and give them financial independence and give them an ability to, have a home and a family if they wanted to. All of these things were really what I liked. And when I think about the thing that I did in my past corporate life that I'm most proud of, it's when a person on my team who was very late 20s at the time, his mother became very ill, and she was fostering a 13-year-old special needs child at the time. She almost died and had, just a horrific medical situation that then landed her in long-term care. And he, at the age of 26, 27, a young guy, just married himself, couldn't, he needed to figure out what to do for her, where to put her. She was living, miles away. She needed to be somewhere where he was. He needed to figure out how he was going to get proper care for that 13-year-old who was in her house. All these huge issues came on him that he'd never dealt with in his life. He had to figure it out, and he needed time off from work, and he didn't have that time. We just gave it to him. We were a small team. I just said to the other girl on the team, I said, we're just going to handle this for him. It was a busy time, but we're just going to do it. And he's going to take whatever time he needs. And whenever he gets back, but he's not going to lose his job. We're just going to do this for him. And to this day, that to me, all that work, all those long nights, everything we did so that he could do what he needed to do for his mom. That's what was important to me about the job, not that we got another million pieces of mail out.
Yeah.
Out to sell DirecTV's subscriptions or whatever it was, And so I think, in hindsight, it was leaning into the fact that, half of work is psychology and working with people. And I really like working with people in whatever way. And so when I started working with Untapped Potential, it was fantastic. It's something true to my heart. Candace Friedenberg is an amazing woman, and she actually just won the Connecticut SBA Woman-Owned Business of the Year this year. So, it's no small feat to have a small business that survived the pandemic. So everyone who managed to eke out something during the pandemic, congratulations to everyone. We were all just hanging on, right? And now is the time to think about how we can grow, how we can do our next thing, and how we can really take a hold of this life and take the lessons that the pandemic put in our face about what would we really want if we died tomorrow? What would we want to be doing? What would we want people to remember about us? What is our legacy? What are we doing for our families, for our children, for our friends? Who is that community that is around us? And how do we build community when we've been so isolated, right? We all are going to that now. Now is a great time to do that. We're done hanging on. We know what to do. We know how to keep ourselves safe. So let's stop hanging on and let's move forward. And so Untapped Potential was founded by Candace Friedenberg to help fix the problem. She's an engineer, so she approached it as a problem-solving thing, that she was sitting around with a bunch of women who were volunteering for school, the ACE Volunteers for School, fundraising, doing all the things. And she realized in that room was immense, an intellectual capital in this room, and that she realized this friend didn't know that friend was also a lawyer. She realized this person did not know that person also used to work in IT. She was connecting the dots, much like Carmen does, just connecting, looking at all these women and all of their fantastic gifts. They might have been sewing something for a theater production, but there were all these other intellectual gifts that they brought to the table that she knew about. And they weren't using them in a professional capacity, in a paid work capacity. And when she asked them, well, are you thinking about going back to work? all of them said, all of these incredibly accomplished women with, who've graduated in greater numbers than men since 1980 or something, right? Men and graduating with a college degree, all said, I don't know how I would get back. The lawyers said that. Candace is an engineer with an MBA. She thought that. How would I get back to that career that I had? And I've been out for a while. These women in particular were out caregiving for their kids, right? And so she went about studying the problem and looked at what are the biases, what are the hurdles that you have to get over, and she started knocking them down. So she went through the incubator at Reset in Hartford that helps social enterprises launch. And they have a program. So talk about resources. Carmen knows all about every resource and everywhere in Connecticut that can help you start a business and give you advice. When you don't have a lot of money or you don't have a lot of resource, there are people out there that are doing these jobs where it is their job to help you figure it out and get through the system. And so she went through that incubator and figured out, okay, so these women are saying, I can't, when someone sees a gap on my resume of 10 years, 2 years, 5 years, 20 years for some people, they're not going to hire me. They're wondering what I can do. They don't think I can do anything anymore. And do any of us get any stupider when we stop?
I don't think so.
No. I'm use our brain. If anything, we expand it when we do other things that are close to our heart, right? Yes. When we have to make a move to caregive for someone. I know, Margarita, you have experience with that, right? Mm-hmm. Caring for a loved one is a moral imperative. You feel moved to do it. It is something that it's almost a gift in a way, right? As hard as it is, it's a gift. When we choose to be parents, like we better make sure we're contributing to society and not taking away, right? Yes. And that requires a great deal of attention. And so, I think when you see a gap, so what she said was, okay, there's a gap. All right, then let's make up a profile that doesn't have years on it. You know what? You last worked 2000 to 2004. It's going to say 4 years. Nobody's going to know when it was. It's just going to say 4 years. And so she changed it all to just have the duration. So then that initial bias, we talk a lot about bias and diversity and getting inclusive work environments. How do you remove the bias? That was an easy thing to do. Everybody who comes to Untapped Potential knows that the women we work with are trying to make a pivot or might have a gap on their resume, but they're instructed not to ask about the gap. Don't ask about it. Look at what they have. What are their skill sets? Look at what people have, not what they don't have.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. What I took a look at, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that's such a key thing when you're in Jennifer and Carmen's position, when you're out there helping, because that's what we're missing too in today's uncertainty is people are not looking beyond what they're seeing. And there's so much greatness behind what you're seeing, Go ahead, carry on, Carmen.
No, I just wanted to say that, and she's talking about how do you find that. And I had mentioned to you guys that I started my official consulting business like 2 weeks ago, like licensed it with the city like 2 weeks ago. But I have always been a workforce and business development professional.
Yes,
and my thing, Margie, and it's like, let's have a conversation about what you want to do. And then we just start with the ideas. At the end of the day, it's up to the person to implement that. But we take a look at it. And when I was talking and working with Jen, I was like, I'm doing what I love, and what I love didn't always pay. Right. But we have to get to a place where we honor artists, talent, individuals, even if you're giving even an honorarium. And a lot of these small businesses that I was working with, just to get their name out there, were giving a lot of stuff away. And I'm like, you can't live by giving everything away. So in the last 17 years, I'm really proud of that. I've been with the Parent Leadership Training Institute. So I have helped over 300 parents develop projects that improve the lives of children and family. So that's really how I got tapped into resources and who people are. I think my natural talent is connecting people. I've worked with over probably thousands of businesses. But in the last month that I have been doing some consulting work, this is what has surprised me. In the last month, I've interviewed 41 businesses we've given out over a hundred referrals for things like how to market your business, how to do your accounting, how to develop a business plan, all of these other things. So in Jen and I working together, what she's given me is the opportunity to say, you know what, I can do this and I can officially help you. And my time is of value. And that's what I'm trying to bring to the other businesses. So we help them connect with vending opportunities, different trainings. We'll help them with if they need letter writing, if they need whatever it is. And I'm no expert by any means, but I've been around the way for a long time. So and it's the people that you touch and that particularly right now are so grateful. So Jen and I working together, and Crystal Ingram, I don't know if she's here, but I'm going to give her some love and tell her how much I appreciate her. We were sitting around coffee, me, myself, my friend Amy, and Carmen Cologne. We're sitting at a table and just talking. And I'm not exactly sure in what context of the conversation it came up, but we were talking about why do we have to wait for other people to give us permission to do what we want to do, right? We just haven't given voice to it and said it.
Mhm.
And because I throw everything in the kitchen sink into the funnel, and then I need somebody to help me shape it and get it out because I'm like such an idea person.
Yes,
and
for
and
sure.
and the conversation came up about the only people that we need permission from is us. So whether somebody's looking to transition into a completely different business or have that piece of their life which gives them fulfillment, how do we have a conversation about how do we get there? And I'll tell you, Jen will tell you, our journey has probably been 16 months.
Mhm.
16 months from the day that I started working with her. So sometimes it's not about tomorrow. Maritza, I think she's still on here. And when she was running for, she's like, what do you, I think I want to run for Secretary of State, but what do you think? I'm like, girl, if you want to do that, then do that. How do we get our girl tribe to support small business, to, promote shows like yours, to give you ideas for shows like yours that you didn't mention about your coffee roasting, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just a lot of opportunity, or Lori's book launch, her badass story. Chanel was like, thank you for coming to my house. Let me tell you, the book signing that they had was intimate, beautiful, and absolutely exactly the way that it should have been. It was. And there's an opportunity to do bigger things. So how do we, connect people and do ideas? So the event this weekend is the 30th. It's a Saturday from 10 to 12. We're gonna have refreshments. And those listeners that want to come, we created, all you have to do is email me. There's my phone number and my email. Just let me know, mention Viva, and I'm gonna give you the $10 price. Listen, it's not about the money because I could have did it free, but I think it's about honoring what I'm saying, that anybody on projects deserves to get paid. We bought a membership to Dream Suite Collective because I have a home office, but when I wanted to do events, I don't want to do them at my house, right? So how do I support another business and create this awesome space that I can have opportunities to do things? And there's so many amazing women here that if they want to reach out to me, to Jen, please put up the link to Untapped Potential on there, because this is really a great opportunity for women that are looking to pivot, looking to do something different, want to stay in the job you're in but do something else. So the event on Saturday is really about having a conversation about, one, how do we own up to what we want and say it out loud. Two is, how do we give ourselves permission? And three, how do we connect with women that are gonna kind of handhold us and be like, "Girl, you don't got to do that whole trek by yourself. Come on." And when
Right.
you're looking like you need to give up, somebody to kind of help you be accountable to that. I see our Janice and some of our always friends on here. I want to thank all my friends, my family, and everybody that's in here. Jennifer, thank you for all that you do and helping people. We hope that people will come out. She put the link and the email. Give me a call, let me know, and mention Viva, that you learned about it on the Viva show, and we'll get a discount. Jen, did you want to have anything that you wanted to kind of say? Because I think we kind of might have said everything, but I don't know. But
Yeah, just we look forward to anybody who wants to join us. We're about, I think the other thing that that also happened, and Jimmy knows about this. Like, Carmen and I met through this organization, and then Carmen wanted to have another. She enjoyed the conversation she was having with the women in the group, and wanted to start something that was just kind of a little coffee with people who also want kind of uplifting things happening in their lives and want to share a good story and kind of get just a little bit of support. And so she pulled together random people who did not know each other, and we had a small group kind of through part of the pandemic, part of the major part of the pandemic. We had a small group that was meeting, just a few times. We met maybe, once every, 6 weeks or something. And just, started with what was the best thing that happened to you this week? Just kind of recounting, like, let's hear something positive. What are you trying to do? We're going to cheer you on. And these are people who don't even know each other, but you know what? We can all get behind that spirit of, what do you want to do? I'm going to put energy towards that. I'm going to help your intention. And if I have some piece of knowledge that might help you, I'm going to share it. And let's see, we shared links. We shared, there were artists on there sharing music that made us feel good. Jimmy did this incredible thing about colors and what colors you're attracted to and how that affects your personality and what you like. It was just neat and fun and nothing too formal, but just a great idea to get together with the people who lift and support you. So that's just a reminder. Always, make sure that you're in the company of people who lift and support you, and that you minimize your time with those that drain, right? And we're here for ourselves, and we have to remember to also do things for ourselves.
Absolutely. I think that is.
So that's what, deciding to do these things is all about. Even Carmen is pushing me to do these things.
That's great. Carmen pushes all of us to be great. Carmen and I, since 23 years ago, I've always wanted to open a coffee shop bookstore, Margarita's Cafe con Libros. It's been my dream since I was, mid-20s. So in 2020, she's like, let's have coffee. So we're talking, I'm brewing my coffee, I'm doing all this. And she asked me about it. I'm like, well, I'm a caregiver again for my mom this time. And it's the pandemic, right? Quarantine, all that. And that's where she's like, well, you got to do something and blah, blah. And sometimes, I'm like, damn, she's just persistent. And then boom, she goes, I see something that you can do now since we're in the pandemic. And boom, Viva Cafe con Leche. And she's like, but I ain't going to do it with you. And I said, I know who can do it with me. And then with the brewing of the coffee and everything, she's like, well, until you open your coffee shop bookstore, why don't you start making your coffee? And I felt like I could never do that. 6 to 8 months later, still feeling like overwhelmed. And then the birth of Naturally Orgasmic Cafe Company. Let me tell you, I'll never not say it. I'm very proud of our friendship, our connection since forever. When we have something to say to each other, we honor each other, and we'll say it, we'll get offended, whatever, right? But Carmen is that, what I want to say, that angel who like sprinkles, go ahead and do it, dust. That Nike, just do it. She probably gave Nike the idea. But yeah, so I mean, Carmen, you should get paid for what you do. I'm glad I met you in the beginning where you wasn't charging, because that would cost me a penny. But go for everything, because your ideas, they're like that great fertilizer for that fruit tree to grow in abundance. And that's what you are. You're always at the foundation of things. Mm-hmm. So never stop what you're doing, because we're grateful for everything you do. We're grateful for even the kickoff of the badass tour, her badass tour. And now Lori's doing
a lady.
One. She'll be soon somewhere. One of the other authors called her out to where, Michigan, to do a third one. I mean, so the ball gets rolling, because you do see the potential.
No, Georgia.
From Georgia. You see the potential in all of us. So I'm honored to know you and to know, Bridgeport power. I'll be in Bridgeport. I'll be home.
And we'll be doing something else. So just get ready, because, and this is what we talk about. So when I talk to business owners, I'm like, what do you want to do? Let's get some ideas. Let's make some connections. But at the end of the day, all Jen and I can do is give people recommendations, and really are there recommendations. You might want to think about doing it this way, or try this, or try that, or this is how you say this to people that are going to listen. And, and understanding what is it that you're trying. And let me tell you, this is a very long lesson. do when we're talking to business owners, and I will tell you, I've made many mistakes in my business just launching it recently. I'm like, listen, so who's the brand? Well, I'm the brand. So I bought three different domain names that now I have somebody that's helping me with my website, and they're like, why do you need three different domains? And why are you buying it at like $50 for like 2 years? I'm like, because I wanted to protect it. I don't know how I'm going to use it, but and when I talk to the business owners and other people that are looking to make a difference in the community, do it the smart way. Be around people that have been there, done that.
Yeah.
So
Don't
you save
reinvent the wheel.
yourself time, money, and energy, right, Laura?
Yeah.
Just to be able to say, listen, this is what worked, and girl, listen, don't do that. But at the end of the day, it's up to the person to do. And we need to create a bigger girl tribe, because let me tell you, the future is female.
Yes.
However, we want to do that. I'm a
Amen.
graduate from the women's
Power
campaign.
what?
We're not going to talk about that. And we'll say, listen, the women's campaign school switched to their campaign school, but we really know. We really know. And I'm winking a lot that it's mostly women. So we need to support women. How we do that, I will tell you that there's a few amazing men sprinkle here and there. Our Janice is one of them. My husband is one of them.
Yes.
Brian is one of them. That really let us shine and be who we are, because a lot of men are not comfortable with powerful women. So
Mhm.
when you talk about aligning yourself with people that support you and love you, and if you're trying to do something, we'll write the check for you, or be like, I'll hook you up with this resource. And you could do your business and not even spend any money. Let's barter. Let's help each other. Um, yeah, that's right, Chanel. You do. You do. I was at Chanel's house this weekend, and her husband took the dog on a trip. So we didn't have to worry about the dog. So I just know that I love you. I support you guys, Jennifer, and all the women that are on the call today that logged on because they're supporting me, supporting my work, that are going to come to the event. Share the word. This is not going to be the only one, but come to the event, because we're going to start having dialogue. I'm not promising you that you're going to come out of there with all the answers, but you're going to come out with an even open heart, and like really thinking about, what is it that you want to do. And maybe it's just you volunteer somewhere. Maybe it's that you start a business on top of your job. You having a hot flash over there,
I
Margie?
think I am. Because I'm sweating in
I
places.
expect
I
you
don't
like
need
that.
to be
Listen, como
sweating.
suave, okay? Listen, I love you guys. I support you guys. I'm so excited about the book tour. I'm so excited.
I come back the end of May, and I'm going to be climbing mountains that I have not prepared for. So it's going to be a very interesting and painful journey, but one that I cannot wait. I think I anticipate going on these journeys more than I did when I gave birth.
And you
So
walk forever. I get tired just listening to you.
287 kilometers on this trip. The last trip was 500 kilometers. So yeah,
Listen,
500 miles. It was 790 kilometers. So yeah, sometimes we got to remove ourselves from where we are in order to really sit on top of the mountain and look down into the
Oh
village
yeah,
and see exactly what needs to be removed, what needs to be left in place, and what needs to be, what's that word? Not rebuilt, but fixed. What is it when you redo something? So
repurpose it. Repurpose it.
yes, yes. Not everything is garbage, and not everything is worthy of keeping. But sometimes we have to sit up on that mountain and look down on our lives, and this is what this journey does. I did it. I went on my first one after my husband passed away, and then because of the traveling things, and last year I couldn't go after my mom passed away. So this is what it is. It's my healing journey.
I need to log off because I have another
Oh no, that's
presentation at
good. Yeah,
9.
take our
But
time.
here's what I want to say last. I want to say to all the women and everyone that's in here, remember to support each other, educate one another, engage, elevate, and invest in each other, whether that's mind, body, spirit, or wallet.
I like that.
I love you guys. Jen, I'll see you Saturday. Margarita,
Yes, I'll
Lori,
be there
thank you for
Saturday.
having us on. And to all the people that have been on the show to support us and have been working with us, thank you. Don't stop and pay it forward.
Jennifer,
Have
you
a
don't have
great day,
to leave.
ladies.
Carmen's leaving, Jennifer. You don't have to leave if you don't want
I
to.
love you.
Bye, Carmen.
Bye.
Sure, I'll stay. It's fine.
Okay, good. All
Here
right.
is. I didn't realize we had the same Red Viva mug today. Yes, I love it. I
Plus,
love
we get a better close up now of your glasses.
Oh yes, and it
Excellent.
evoked me, right? Yeah, that's awesome. Listen, I love and I thank you from Ajusta tu Corona because you did sponsor Untapped Potential sponsored Ajusta tu Corona last year when we had it in Stratford. This year we're hosting it in Orlando. So that's going to be
Awesome.
different. Hot. Because we're normally used to it over there. So I think that I love it. I love the name. I think it just speaks volumes. What do you think, Badass? Untapped potential. Like we all have that, no matter how high we are in our whatever chosen career we did. You know, we have everything we wanted and money in the bank. Or if you're just starting off counting pennies.
Yep.
And everyone has untapped potential.
Exactly.
I'm loving it.
Exactly. And then I think the other point is you know, that we get from our work experience, from caregiving for kids or not, that adds to what we do. And so many times it's discounted as, oh, you're just doing that. But it really, if I think about all the skill sets you get from being a mom, it's excellent project management, it's negotiation. You can have a kid who has completely different communication style than you do, completely different personality, or your husband's personality, your partner's personality, and you might clash with that. And so you have to figure out, they're your kid, you have to figure
or drop them off somewhere.
How to work with it, right? A completely different communication. Yeah, exactly. And so you learn how to work with it, and you bring.
I didn't want kids. I said that early, and then I ended up with 2, and now I got 4 grandkids. So there's no going back for me. So I got to deal with it, right? Do the best I can with what I have. And no, I have great relationships with all my grandkids and my kids. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We forget the depth of our strength as women, as birthers of life, and raising a child. We have to be Einstein and Newton and Nostradamus all into one, creating, a uterus with that, because it is, I think the most difficult job is raising kids and trying to raise them to the best of your ability so that they can take wings and become the best that they were born to do. So you're right. It's life is difficult. So we got to make the best of what we have for us and then spread that out into the world. We can't save the world without first doing this right here.
I think idiots want to know what part of Florida you're from.
And I challenge people who helping other people.
Jennifer, are you from Florida?
I am actually.
Oh yeah, one of the tribe members was asking what part of Florida you're from. If you want to share,
I grew up in the Melbourne area.
Nice.
East of Orlando and Disney World. Like if you took Disney World to the East Coast beach, that's where I grew up.
Titusville, Cocoa Beach, up that way. Yeah, I have a friend, Francia, lives in Melbourne.
So that's where I grew up, and then I went to college in Florida, and then I've moved all around since.
So you're like originally from Florida? Like you were born and raised in Florida?
I was born in Massachusetts, but yeah, we moved there when I was 6.
Okay. No, because you know why I was saying that, because there's so few people that are actually really ever born in Florida. Something really is like that.
That's
they'll move. But still, that's young. I mean, with the exception of like the next generation that's coming in. But usually when we're talking about like women in our generation, it's like, or people in our generation, it seems that. So it's interesting to meet people right from Florida. But you were a New England baby, and then you went down there, and you're a Floridian. You grew up.
And so it's the huge migration at that time. Yeah. So lots of people were coming from the Northeast to work in that area.
Oh, Editha was asking somebody. Editha was asking Bobby.
But look what we learned from asking Jennifer.
I know.
Thank you, Editha. And yeah, Editha, my cousin, is going with me to Portugal. She wants to join me on the spiritual journey. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. But I think, so you will be there Saturday, right? I don't know if the badass, she had to look at her schedule, but I would definitely be there Saturday at 10 with my cup of coffee. And so, yeah, so we'll get to meet then. So it was awesome having you here. It was just awesome listening to what you were saying. Self-centered and centered self. We'll talk about that at we always talk about that anyway. So in-depth shit. We know about everything. You know why I love this show? Viva Cafe con Leche is exactly what it was supposed to be. We discuss everything. And we have such a balance where the badass Buddha will like be like this and I'd be like this. And then sometimes she softens me or I push her. And I think that's the balance, because we're not going to please everybody, because I'm not Willy Wonka, right? So I think when we speak our truth, and that's why our mantra is it's something that we say it, and we say it with passion behind it, because we are disruptors and we are spiritually grounded, but yet we also are unapologetically courageous. So it was great to have you here. I hope to have you in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we want to remind everybody that, so to register for the upcoming event, Permission to Grow with Purpose, it's this Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon at the Dream Suite Collective at 1846 Barnum Avenue. And to register, you just contact can.ctconsultant@gmail. Don't put the I got to fix that. Hold on a second. Don't put the dot in there. I don't know why I put the dot in there. People will be like, it's not working. Here we go. I fixed it. can.ctconsultant@gmail.com or 203-727-9229 and register ASAP. But if you mention Viva, you will get a discount, $10. So it's $5 off the ticket, and it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be worth it. I have something right at 11 to 12, like smack in the middle. I'm going to see if I could change the time on that one. And if I could change the time, then I will jump in, even if I'm doing my thing in the car. So I'll see if I can make that. But yes, Jennifer, thank you so much for being on today. And to connect with Jennifer, you can connect with her on LinkedIn, but you can also connect with her at upotential.org. And right, that's correct, upotential.org. And definitely reach out to her, but you'll be there Saturday, so people can meet you in person on Saturday. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. And, you said something earlier, Margarita, about chaos and being, kind of setting you as the disruptor to get back on your path. And I feel like there's good chaos. And when you tell people what you're trying to do and you start seeking ways to do that, whether it's just reading an article about the thing you want to do, whether it's looking at somebody who's already successful in what you want to do, like seeds that then suddenly the next day the opportunities cross your path that get you closer. So I think getting that good chaos going where you're getting ideas from a lot of different places and starting to see the path, it helps you. Just make one small change, do one thing that helps you get to where you want to be. If you help other people all the time, take one of those things that you helped somebody and turn it on yourself and say, how would I do that for me? And then do it.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's correct.
I love it.
Correct. Yes, it's so easy for us to help other people, and we never really think about flipping it on ourselves. It's just like that that little exercise that they tell you to do when you're talking all that negative self-talk, and they say write it down, and then they pair you off with somebody and say, okay, now you're going to say that to them, to their face, and you would never want to say that, especially to somebody you don't even really know very well, because it's just so insulting, and yet we do it to ourselves. So I like that. Whatever you do, if you are a giver and you give something to somebody else, do that for yourself.
Always. It's God, me, then everybody else. Is a mantra I've carried with me forever. My chaos is my chaos, and my chaos is what got me where I rode that wave of chaos. And ta-da, I'm here, baby. Okay, let's close it out. Any last words of encouragement? We usually say a phrase.
What do you think, Jennifer? You want to leave the tribe with any last words?
Definitely just take 5 minutes today to think about what you want and do something for yourself. Even if it's just that beautiful cup of coffee that you love, make it, take the time, have it, and really appreciate it that you did something for yourself.
Yes.
And then in June, you order it from Gladiator Guru, and you'll enjoy it even more. because it'll be that coffee.
Yes.
So
Naturally orgasmic.
So thank you everybody for coming on. We will be back on Thursday. I don't know what the topic is because I forgot to look, but we'll be back on Thursday with a fabulous guest. I think it's Heather Abbott, and we will see you all then. So from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the gladiator guru, mi gente, remember to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.